All right, guys, listen. I'm giving you guys free content every day. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Bergerson Method, all right? Today, I got some good information I'm going to give you today. I got my partner, Jose. He owns 48 Airbnbs. He lives in Atlanta, and all his Airbnbs are in another city, okay? I'm going to ask him straight to the point information you guys want to hear, all right? First question is going to be, how much money can someone expect to make doing Airbnbs?
Okay, so a good rule of thumb, I would say, is the rule of two. So what I do is the arbitrage model. So I rent from the owners. So for example, make it easy numbers. Let's say your rent is $1,500. I expect to gross revenue at least $3,000. So 2 times the rent. And from there you start subtracting, utilities, some cleaning. But I like to say that's a good rule of thumb to keep you nice and safe with a good profit margin.
So what do you say is the average ballpark figure net profit per unit?
It all depends. I mean, some people are happy with making $500 a month extra. Some people need at least $2,000. I would say, what would make you happy for the amount of time and effort that you put in? For me, yeah, if the deal is now to make me at least $800, technically turns out to be like $10,000 for the year. If that deal is now to make me at least a $10,000 profit, I'm not looking at it.
Good information. Second question here is, how or what do you use to manage all these Airbnbs for someone that wants to be hands off?
Yeah, so obviously I'm not doing all the cleaning. I'm not doing the maintenance work. You need automation. You need a team. You need a team virtual assistants to handle guest messaging. You need automation through Airbnb. You need a maintenance team. You need cleaners, and you need someone to manage all that. So most of my job is just overseeing, and if there's anything that needs to be that comes up to my level, then it probably is pretty big. But my job is basically business development, add more units, and create more systems so I can manage more.
Perfect. Now, where can you find Airbnbs to get into?
I would say place I look is just Zillow. I mean, it's all a numbers game. You basically have to I suggest meeting owners in person and just tell them, what's your value? Why are you better than a regular tenant? Why should they rent to you over someone else? And you gotta convince them of, like, hey, I'm gonna be here 2 to 3 years. I'm gonna take care of your property. I'm gonna furnish it, and it's always gonna be in for sale condition. So, and the fact that I can handle my own maintenance. So, you're not always gonna hear a yes. I would say you would probably hear a bunch of no's before, but with time, you build the credibility, it gets easier. Gotcha.
Last question. What can you tell someone how to start and get into this business from scratch, from zero, from the beginning point?
I mean, there's a lot of different methods. To be honest, you could literally work for someone like me as a runner, just basically do errands, help oversee things. So there's 3 methods. You could do the arbitrage model where you rent from the owner, which means you have to come up with security deposit, first month's rent, furniture. Or if you have no money or little money, you can offer to co-host, where you're actually managing someone else. Let's say there's an owner that has a house. He don't really have the time to do the Airbnb, to learn the ins and outs, but you do. So, you offer your services for a percentage of the revenue that you would bring. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Gotcha. You did say something about if you have no money, you live in an apartment. You said something about going to your friend's house for the weekend and Airbnb in your own apartment. Elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, so when I first started, no money. I basically took my own apartment where I used to live, and if I were to rent it on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, I could basically pay my rent. So what I would do is I would just rent it, put all my valuables in a closet, lock it up, and then for the weekend, just go away, either family or friends, and come back Sunday, do the cleaning myself, and it gave me the experience I require without buying a course, without doing anything. It was just me learning hands-on with my own place, and it was minimal investment I needed, and I already had the place and the furniture, so it was pretty easy to get started.
Listen, there we go. This is a 6-minute video on how you can start making money today in Airbnb, starting with $0. There's no excuse out there for anyone. You just heard it from Jose, 48 Airbnbs, and let's get to it.